We have the latest on the investigation of a double homicide in Covington. Hear reactions from church members as they gathered to pray Monday night.
Also, a scary few hours for one North Shore family has a happy ending after two girls and their dog were found safe. We have the video of the reunion and the details on where the girls were found coming up.
And good morning, New Orleans. Your forecast for today is going to be more active than yesterday's. Clouds already, but rain chances soon. We'll time everything out coming up.
You're watching Good Morning New Orleans.
Thanks for waking up with us on Good Morning New Orleans. I'm Safina Chainon.
I'm Tamika Lee, 5 o'clock on this Tuesday.
Yes.
Woo, like we've been saying, just trucking along with this week. December's in a few days, which is wild.
That is so wild. Christmas decor is up. We're talking about that later in our dad chat. And I have to say, I'm not a fan of the rain we've been seeing on and off lately. Worst time to get a dog.
It's because you have two dogs now. You need to get them.
Worst time to get a dog.
Yeah, right. This is that's
the
it.
wet ground, soggy ground. I know it's coming back at some point today, right, Brooke?
Yes, it certainly is. But you'll get to indulge in some nice snuggles with your cuties inside. So we got that going for us. Definitely going to be one of those active nights tonight where you want to make sure you have a way to receive that warning information in case something is issued. So today could be a pretty large severe weather outbreak in parts of the region, not here necessarily, but we do have the possibility for some brief weak spin up tornadoes and also even straight line winds as a concern, mostly in the overnight time frame. So as you can see, we're waking up right now with a pretty quiet satellite and radar picture brought to you by New Orleans Roast. And so is your forecast first. Our temperatures are in the 50s in Bogalusa. That's where there's a little bit of fog. Otherwise, you're seeing these 60s across the board. And we continue with those current conditions in the mid 60s to upper 60s with the 70s not far off. So today, as we get later into the afternoon, we're going to start to see those overall conditions really changing. And then as we look to tonight, we got the clouds, some storms, and the possibility of additional fog as you're waking up. So something to keep in mind. Those winds are out of the southwest, and we're going to see them transitioning as we get later into the next 24 hours. Right now, out of the southeast, which is always a sign of moisture pumping off the Gulf Coast. Let's check on traffic. It's 5:02, and traffic is brought to you by Chip Forstall. So we're starting out here towards the airport, looking good. A lot less holiday travel today than yesterday, more than likely. But we'll take you over towards the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Not dealing with a ton of visibility limitations at the moment, but we very well see that fog redeveloping as we get later into the morning like yesterday. So something to keep in mind. Definitely a pattern change, and we've got that moisture coming off the Gulf Coast, which is always a sign of additional fog possible. As you're heading a bit further, though, down towards I-10 and the Twin Spans, you're looking good. So have a great morning. Be safe on the roads.
Thanks, Brooke. New this morning, a shooting in Metairie kills one man. Jefferson Parish deputies say it happened around 7:30 last night in the 3600 block of Academy Drive. The man was found on the ground in the backyard of a home with at least one gunshot wound. He was taken to a local hospital where he later died. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers.
In St. Tammany Parish, Covington police have one person in custody in connection to the gruesome double murder. The victims are feared to be a popular retired priest and his assistant. WGNO's Amy Russo spoke to members of St. Peter's Church in Covington as they gathered to pray last night.
The reading of the scripture
not only forgave his persecutors, but he forgave the sins of the entire world.
And singing of the hymns. The congregation at St. Peter's Catholic overflowing the church in Covington as they came together for a holy hour after two unidentified bodies burnt beyond recognition were discovered in downtown Covington.
Those things just don't happen here in Covington.
We rushed over to join the prayer group and say some prayers for them ourselves.
Covington police have arrested 49-year-old Antonio Tyson, accused in the double homicide.
I'm nauseous. It makes me sick to my stomach that somebody could do such a horrendous thing to any human being. It's wrong. Just solely wrong. You know, they'll be missed.
Amid the news, it was revealed retired longtime priest Otis Young and his assistant Ruth Pratz had been reported missing.
I mean, he was just so giving, so I don't know, he was just the nicest person you could ever meet in your life. Anybody can tell you that.
Ruth, I've known for a few years, and she dedicated her entire life to this church. That's the only thing that she lived for, I believe, you know. It was her heart and soul.
Although it's not clear who the victims are in this case, parishioners continue to pray for peace.
Pray that nothing like this happens ever again.
Amy Rousseau, WGNO News.
And a news conference to discuss the murders is set for this morning at 10. Also today, the coroner expects to identify the 2 victims. Well, in New Orleans, many are wondering how to stop the violence after a week which saw more than a dozen shootings.
Yeah, beginning with last Wednesday's killing of an 8-year-old in Uptown, there have been 13 shootings with 18 victims, including the one on Bourbon Street Saturday night that injured 5 people. Now, a former police superintendent says changing the results on the ground starts with the people at the top, and voters have to realize that.
Elections have consequences. The people of New Orleans elected this council. They've elected this mayor. They are the people who have the keys to the castle. They are the ones who have to make plans, policies, practices, and changes.
Surpass also added that the most effective way to police is to have enough officers to target hotspots and not just respond to calls. He says that we simply don't have the manpower to do that.
And now one person is charged with 5 counts of second-degree battery for that shooting on Bourbon. The suspect is 18-year-old Deshaun Meyer. Police have also arrested a 15-year-old for killing a man on Canal Street a few hours earlier Saturday. NOPD Chief Sean Ferguson says his officers arrested more than 60 people over the weekend on illegal gun charges. Nearly all of them were on Bourbon Street. 3 of them are convicted felons.
But I think what we really need to have a conversation about and really be clear with is that these senseless acts are not indicative of who we are in the city of New Orleans. We want people to come to New Orleans and have fun. We want you to come and enjoy yourselves. We want you to come and be safe, but we also want you to come and be responsible.
And Mayor Cantrell issued a statement on this weekend shooting, saying in part, what was a week filled with giving thanks and spending time with loved ones transformed into multiple senseless acts of gun violence. She then went on to say youth violence and gun violence overall is a disease that affects all of us.
We're covering the New Orleans City Council. A former board member on the Housing Authority of New Orleans is appealing her dismissal at a special council meeting today. In October, Mayor Cantrell sent a letter to the executive director of the Housing Authority saying Sharon Jasper was removed from the board effective immediately. Supporters say the mayor is accusing Jasper of trying to start a riot among public housing residents during a board meeting. Today's special meeting starts at 11:30 in the City Council chambers. And after the appeal hearing, Jasper supporters will hold a news conference outside the City Council chambers. They say they plan to talk about what they believe motivated the mayor and other city leaders to remove Jasper from the board.
And the City Council also will hold a Transportation Committee meeting this morning. Members will get updates on the progress of a proposed rail system between New Orleans and Baton Rouge. Funding for the train is available from the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. That meeting begins at 10 in the City Council chambers.
President Biden is stepping in once again to avoid a national rail strike. I'm Micah Jachi reporting in Washington. Coming up, what Congress plans to do to avert a crippling blow to the economy.
And good morning, New Orleans. Your forecast for today will be active with the possibility of severe weather this afternoon and tonight. Details coming up.
That's the moment two North Shore kids and their dog were reunited with their family late Monday night in Folsom. St. Tammany Parish deputies say 7-year-old Abigail Berg and 4-year-old Cecilia Berg ran off from their backyard in the 8100 block of North Willie Road about 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. The girls were found about a mile from their home.
Happy ending. We found these two children that were missing for over 4 hours here in the wooded area, rural area of St. Tammany Parish. We've had the assistance from the Louisiana State Police, Wildlife and Fisheries, Federal Wildlife and Fisheries, ATF, and probably 100 volunteers that joined in on the search to locate these two little ones.
And deputies say the girls were missing for about 4 hours.
Well, this morning, President Biden is calling on Congress to intervene and block a possible railroad strike that could overwhelm our economy.
Yeah, both the railroad unions and companies have been negotiating for months to reach a new union deal. ABC's Zach Kajachi in Washington with more.
This morning, President Biden stepping into the ongoing rail labor negotiations, speaking directly to Congress, telling them to intervene.
The president has been very clear. Shutdown is unacceptable because of the impact that it would have on jobs and families and farms and businesses and communities just across the country.
A shutdown could cost the economy an estimated $2 billion per day and place a massive strain on the trucking industry.
Rail goes down, and then all the shippers are going to rely on trucks to get their product to store shelves. So all those Amazon packages, it's going to cost a lot more.
The American Trucking Associations, as well as more than 400 business groups, signing a letter to Congress saying we call on you to take immediate steps to prevent a national rail strike and the certain economic destruction that would follow. Experts say a strike could even affect the country's water supply.
A lot of chlorine is put on rail, goes to water supply facilities.
So far, 4 of the 12 railroad unions rejected a recent agreement with rail operators brokered by the Biden administration. It included a 14% wage increase that grows to 24% by 2024, 5 annual $1,000 bonuses, health benefit enhancements, and an additional personal leave day. But the main sticking point has been the amount of sick leave for rail workers. If a deal isn't reached or forced by Congress, a strike could begin after December 9th. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi responding, saying the House will take up legislation this week requiring railroad crews to work under the tentative agreement reached between unions and railroads in September. Now, if the House passes a deal, Democrats would need Republican support in the Senate to pass the bill. Ike Kajachi, ABC News, Washington.
Good morning and a happy Tuesday. The time now is 5:15 and we are waking up to quiet conditions outside for the moment, but it will be an active weather day today. So upper 60s to 70s and a transition on the wind direction. Out of the southeast, always a sign of moisture pumping off the Gulf, and then we'll eventually see these winds transitioning just out of the south in the single digits before ramping up along that line of storms that's on its way. So you'll want to make sure that you have the umbrella today without a doubt, and that you also have a way to receive warning information in case something is issued for your area. The overall time frame with this is going to be into the afternoon time frame and then later tonight and overnight. So our afternoon highs will ramp up to the upper 70s, if not low 80s on both sides of Lake Pontchartrain. As we get into the morning, you'll see these 60s across the area, anywhere from 60 itself to 68 on the North Shore. So you're really not falling off a whole lot there. And then the upper 60s closer to 70 south. Our severe weather has changed a little bit in terms of these breakdown threats and risk categories. So we're dealing with by far the biggest concern for long track tornadoes in central Mississippi. And then as you work your way further down, those categories do lessen a bit. So we'll see the enhanced, including Macomb and parts of the Louisiana-Mississippi state line, Bogalusa through Hammond, Pearl River, all the way east to the Mississippi Gulf Coast and west to Baton Rouge, even so south as beyond New Orleans will be included in that slight risk. And then to the coastline, you can expect a more marginal classification, which means that we could definitely be dealing with the concerns for a little bit of hail and definitely some wind damage, not to mention isolated tornadoes or flooding because of the heavy rainfall. So watch the futurecast. We keep the clouds with you all day today. It's just going to be a bit gloomy, and something to keep in mind is had to receive that warning info. As we get later into the afternoon, you're starting to see some of these storms firing up north of the lake. We'll have a couple of showers south. And then into the evening, more scattered activity before that next line starts rolling in right after midnight's time frame. And that's going to mean you got to have a way to receive warning information overnight. With these, more concern for, again, a possibility of rotation on the ground, but especially the winds alongside these storms. Where you're seeing those purples, deep reds or orange, that's a lot of rain in a short amount of time. All this is pushing off of the coast as we approach 8 a.m. or so. So you're waking up tomorrow to mostly dry conditions, and we're going to continue to see that higher pressure filtering in, especially as we get towards Thursday. So Thursday will be cool with temperatures only topping out around 60. That being said, your rainfall amounts are going to be considerable, anywhere from about a half an inch to potentially even 3 as we approach Wednesday. Gulfport's sort of the outlier there. We'll see if we really pick up about 5 inches. I'd be surprised if the number got that high, but it's possible. So we'll continue with those amounts on the way to your weekend. And your weekend's going to be a little bit warmer. Humidity values come down briefly. They go right back up Friday and a Saturday and Sunday, which means in terms of a moisture return, we've got it coming today through tomorrow, and then we see the drier air before another surge of moisture into your weekend. That being said, it's not going to be as seasonal as Thursday, so I will be putting up my tree on Thursday. Our temperature outlook showcases warmer than normal conditions for the next 6 to 10 days beyond this week. So we're going to see that for a little while longer, and we are excited to be live with you on Thursday, just in time for the perfect forecast, the Christmas-like one of the week in Slidell. So at 5 and 6, Tamika and LBJ will be out there with you, just like last year. We had so much fun then, so we're looking forward to doing it again. We'll continue with your forecast for the upcoming weekend, looking a little bit warmer. Let's check on traffic. It's 5:19, and traffic is brought to you by Chip Forstall. So we're starting with our 24-minute drive across the causeway. Again, right now, no major issues due to fog, but we very well may see a few of them present themselves later in the morning. So something to keep in mind for added time. Otherwise, across the South Shore, tons of green on the map here. Not seeing any issues in terms of delays at the moment. As usual, maintain caution on the roads heading out. Back to y'all.
Coming up this half hour, 2 people are behind bars in connection to recent shootings in New Orleans. We'll tell you those details.
And Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser is talking again about possible plans to run for Louisiana governor next year. Find out why he's delaying his decision.
Thanks for waking up with us on Good Morning New Orleans. I'm Stephanie Chainoff.
And Tamika Lee. Here we are on a Tuesday.
Feeling good.
Yeah, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, despite the weather that's coming our way.
I know.
Right, Brooke? Some action.
It's been a roller coaster of weather, I will say. It's a little moody.
Have been all over the place. Starting over this weekend, and then yesterday it was stunning. Once again, more rain. It's going to be beautiful Thursday, and then we hit the reset back to this pattern on Friday into the weekend. So not necessarily active weather then, but it's going to be warmer like we are right now. We'll continue with today's rain chances on the way up as you get later into the afternoon time frame. The time now is 5:30. So we are waking up and you see a lot of these clouds moving really quickly, right? Can you quite see it? They're illuminated over the Mississippi River from all the city lights from our Place St. Charles camera. We do have temperatures in the upper 60s this morning, much warmer than we were yesterday, and we'll continue with that humidity on the way up as well. Our beach camera at Beau Rivage right now is perfectly visible and nice and quiet. We do have the possibility for additional fog as the morning goes on. So right now, those biggest visibility limitations are closer to Bogalusa, where there's under a half a mile visibility. Make sure if you are headed that way, you add a couple minutes to your drive time. Overall, we're going to continue with pretty good conditions for the next at least hour or so. Remember how yesterday morning went, and then we had a lot of sunshine. Well, today we're going to see a little bit less of it, but the amount of sunshine we end up with does have a lot to do with how severe the storms become, because the more sunshine you have, the more instability in the atmosphere. So we'll break down on that timing and those threats coming up. Let's check on traffic. It's 5:32. And traffic is brought to you by Chip Forstall. So here we are. We've got a bit of that flyover approach for you as you are heading from the causeway towards the river. Right now looking good, headed to maybe River Road. Otherwise, as we are continuing into the city a bit further, we're looking good as well. Right now, no major concerns, no major delays or issues as you're headed towards the Dome. So the CBD looking easy near Claiborne, and the list goes on. We'll continue to keep you posted as the morning goes on if any accidents do pop up. Be safe.
Thanks, Brooke. New developments this morning as one person is facing an obstruction of justice charge in connection to the shooting of a five-year-old girl in New Orleans. Detectives say that child was handling a gun around 1:45 Sunday afternoon in the 3000 block of Oliver White Avenue. The gun went off, severing the child's finger. She was transported to the hospital. And then new details in the death of 8-year-old Neon Arnold in Central City. NOPD Chief Ferguson says investigators believe the shot that killed the young boy originated from inside his home on 2nd Street. Now, at the time of the shooting last Wednesday, police were not sure where the bullet came from. So far, police have not made any arrests in connection to the case, and the investigation continues.
And happening today, residents in the Milan neighborhood will have a chance to learn more about Orleans Parish Schools redistricting maps. At each open house, the public can see the draft maps for redistricting and comment on possible changes to district boundaries. That meeting is tonight from 5 to 7 at Walter Cohen School on Dryades Street. Well, right now, we are still waiting on an official announcement if Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser will run for governor. Shannon Hecht spoke with him about why he's holding off on his decision.
Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser has been teasing a run for governor for months, and now who runs and polling results will lead to the final decision.
The end of this year, I would think anyone that's really making a run for it has to start being out there raising money, putting a plan together to be a formal candidate. So I'm hoping the field will be cleared by then and we can make a good decision.
Nungesser says a major factor will be on if Senator John Kennedy will run. Kennedy has national recognition and is widely popular, as seen with his landslide re-election win. Should Kennedy run and win, he will also get to appoint who will fill his Senate seat temporarily.
When he comes back from Washington, we would sit down and talk.
Nungesser says he wants to focus on education, and he believes improving education will also address issues such as crime and poverty in the state. When it comes to a race against Attorney General Jeff Landry, Nungesser says that grandstanding doesn't work.
You won't see me on national TV unless it's to talk about the good of Louisiana. Anybody that uses that platform to trash the state they live in. That's not the way to do it.
He also emphasized that he will not be using tourism dollars to promote himself for his campaign, and that will be coming out of pocket. Nungesser says he'll be running a poll with all potential candidates this December and will make an official announcement on his run by January 10th. For your local election headquarters, I'm Shannon Hecht.
All right, and meanwhile, early voting for the December 10th election is still underway through Saturday. Election day is December 10th. The deadline to request an absentee ballot is December 6th. For more information on who's on the ballot, head to govote.com.
Well, coming up, the Christmas holiday is in full swing. Find out who is joining the holiday festivities.
And good morning, New Orleans. Your forecast for today is going to be active, so we've got all the details on timing and threats of severe weather coming up.
Stephanie Chanon, and meteorologist Brooke Laser.
All right, there we are less than a month away from Christmas, and how the events are in our area. They're ramping up. The Roosevelt Hotel in New Orleans is kicking off the season by lighting the Waldorf Wonderland. That's right, singer Irma Thomas will flip the switch of the holiday display located in the hotel's lobby. The 112,000 lights will be turned on at 5 this evening. So I got a sneak peek at this. I went last week was my birthday. I had a spa day, and so they were putting up all these lights.
Oh, you
and so they were
saw
up,
them
and so I
put
was
up.
watching them put this up, which was fascinating to watch.
Yeah, you know, I feel like you cannot blast Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas, really, truly, until these lights are going up.
Until these
Roosevelt,
lights are going
is it even
up.
the holiday season without
Yes.
the Roosevelt being lit up?
No, and I got to turn these on one day.
That is
a couple
cool.
years ago. I was able to
You
flip the
flipped the
switch
switch.
on this, so it's beautiful. Have you been there?
Yes, I saw the lights, and they're coming back 5 p.m. this evening.
You gotta check it out. Wonderful, wonderful hotel lobby. Also, later this week, Seb, don't forget, WGO News is going on the road to Slidell. Myself and
Yes.
LBJ will be live Thursday from Griffith Park for the annual Christmas Under the
Will
Stars.
Santa be there?
Santa will be there. I have to talk to him about some stuff. You can watch that Thursday night at 5 and 6 p.m. right here on WGNO.
All right, and also a reminder, today is Giving Tuesday, a global initiative to help boost charities and nonprofits. If you're looking for a way to give back, several local groups are gathering for a donation drive. The Catholic Community Foundation event supports groups like Ozanam Inn, Second Harvest Food Bank, and Covenant House. To donate, visit neworleans.com, igivecatholic.org. Here's a live look now at the Catholic Community Foundation offices. In the 6 o'clock hour, we will talk to a representative about the ways you can donate and make a difference in our community.
Good morning and a happy Tuesday. The time now is 5:41 and we are waking up with a little bit of fog gathering in places. It's not as widespread as yesterday morning, but look at the clouds and how quickly they're moving. Temperatures now in the upper 60s, a little bit closer to 70 degrees. Our humidity values are on the rise as we continue out ahead of yet another system making its way through. And we've got that forecast for potential active weather later today. So Bogalusa, you're still dealing with the majority of visibility limitations right around under a quarter-mile visibility, which means you'll need the low beams. They're definitely going to be best. Hour by hour takes you into the next few with these temperatures in the upper 60s to 70s, and we'll continue to watch partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies all day today. So the winds are transitioning out of the south-southeast to the south, and we'll see them in the single digits, but those upper single digits close to the double digits. And then we could definitely have some gusts as the line of storms moves in. So afternoon highs will be in the upper 70s to 80s on both sides of the lake. Major difference from yesterday, definitely much warmer. Our morning lows won't be falling nearly as much, just in the 60s. And we're going to have another round of rain at that point as well. So something to keep in mind. This is what you'll need to be aware of heading into the overnight time frame. Look at our severe weather breakdown. So, of course, the level 4 out of 5 risk, the moderate risk, if you will, is going to be up towards central Mississippi, including Jackson and beyond. That's going to be where you most likely have the long track tornadoes. Then as we come through Hattiesburg, Macomb, Wilson, closer to the Louisiana-Mississippi state border, you got that enhanced risk. And as we get a bit further south, most of the North Shore and a good bit of the South Shore will be included in that level 2 slight risk. So it extends all the way to the Mississippi Gulf Coast and over west towards Baton Rouge. As you start to see Houma and south, we get into that marginal category. So here we are going to be dealing with the possibility of some of these storms becoming severe in the afternoon time frame. Could have gusty winds, maybe even a little bit of hail, though that's a lower end threat. But we'll likely have some flooding as we're dealing with a lot of rain in a short amount of time. Not necessarily going to be widespread flash flooding, just where those bands set up and dump a lot of rain. So watch the futurecast. A lot of clouds today. How much sunshine we see is also going to have a lot to do with how severe these can become, because when you get more sunshine, you end up with instability in the atmosphere. So towards the North Shore, around 2:30, we're dealing with some of these heavier downpours. Then we'll start to clear out just a little bit and see another round back in your forecast for the overnight time frame. So that's when you're going to want to make sure that you have those warnings on your phone, especially, as well as maybe another secondary means for receiving them in the middle of the night. Then most of us are waking up tomorrow to deal with clear skies. So a lot of people probably sleeping through this. We continue with the rainfall amounts anywhere from about 1/2 inch to 2.5 inches as we get through tomorrow. And then on Thursday, of course, we're going to be dealing with a lot of really nice, clear, dry air. So that being said, we continue with the humidity on its way up heading into the weekend. Here's that moisture surge as we come into the next 24 to 48 hours. And then we're much drier on Thursday before our next round of moisture returns this weekend. Over the next 6 to 10 days, you're dealing with that warmer than normal forecast, and we are live on the road looking to Thursday. So just in time for the good weather. 50s back, we'll top at about 60, and we'll see you live at the park 5 and 6 in Slidell. And here is your 7-day forecast Again, those rain chances with us just through Wednesday. Early tomorrow, though, most of us waking up and not seeing any rain fall as we get into the afternoon. And we'll continue with about 60 on Thursday and then the 70s back over the weekend. We'll get those overnight lows too as we get into Thursday morning. Some of us waking up in the 30s. We'll see you after the break.
It's the holiday season. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Oh,
Okay, we've been talking about all the decor. We're just talking about the Roosevelt. The lights are officially getting switched on 5 p.m. today, turned on. So it's kind of the transition of the holiday season. I guess this chat is really about decor. And Tamika, I think you get the gold star because you
Y'all,
just...
you don't understand. The Smiths do not do this.
I'm impressed.
We are last minute. We never do a family picture, and now we get all the stuff with the people that their pictures, of family pictures, and the holiday cards. We don't ever do that. I know, it's so bad. We have our tree up, we have lights up, we have decorations out, and it's not even December.
That's fantastic.
I don't know who we are.
You went out and got your tree this
Yes,
weekend.
well, it's because
a huge tree.
Right. Well, it's because of Rainey. Everything's because of her. Because she was like, "This is not happening this year. We are doing this now."
Aww.
And so she got us together.
I love that. Well, I actually had the pumpkins out since Halloween.
Okay.
And I just couldn't stare at them anymore. So as soon as I woke up the day after Thanksgiving, I got rid of all the pumpkins and I pulled out the Christmas decor. I don't have a tree though. I just have socks, you know.
You have socks. Oh, you gotta get a little
for
tree.
Santa to put some
You
some
have to
treats
have
on
a
the
Dogs.
tree.
You gotta have a little tree.
I don't understand people that make it through all of the holidays without trees. I put up 3 trees in my holiday experience. I've only done one so far. My parents have theirs, and I'm doing mine on the 1st.
Okay.
But today, I'm going to rid the pumpkins and place all of our other decor that is not the tree out. So I take it in daily steps because it's a lot.
Yeah,
it really
is a lot.
is. I look so happily up and down St. Charles Avenue though and get
Oh,
inspired
yeah.
every time I drive because it's just magical.
love
The
it.
streetcar.
I know. I love the
Has its garland.
Yes, when you go down with the garland and the lights hanging. But I love the hotels, the lobbies. Every
All of
year, I take Rainey and her friends and the parents, and we always go put our pajamas on, matching pajamas.
Love.
And we hop around to the hotel. We do like a hotel crawl.
Fun.
Of holiday stuff, and we get like hot chocolate somewhere. We'll do like a peppermint mocha somewhere. So it's
Yes.
fun.
Oh, can you get a pair of
Yes, you want to come with us?
Yeah.
We should do it.
That sounds
we should do it at Good
awesome.
Morning New Orleans
go.
hotel lobby crawl.
Hot
would
chocolate
It won't be
bar.
hot chocolate, it'll be spiked.
Yes.
It'll be the adult version of it. Too fun. I love the holiday season. All right, guys, we'll be right back.
In today's Tech Bites, a possible new look for the Tesla Model 3. According to Reuters, a redesign of the vehicle is currently underway. The changes are reportedly aimed at making the inside of the Model 3 less complicated. Production would begin next year. The Apple Watch Ultra now has a new tool for recreational divers. The Oceanic Plus app can track things like depth, water temperature, and decompression. The basic functions are free, but there is a monthly fee for advanced features. Finally, what about video games for your dog? JoyPaw says the goal is to keep your pooch entertained while you're at work and also boost their brain health. The games are played on a touchscreen console that dispenses treats when the dog is successful. A motion-sensitive collar could also help the dog control the game as well. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Rhiannon Alley. Have a great day.
All right, we want to remind you, Debbie Gino is looking for remarkable women across the New Orleans area. Okay, Tamika with the vocals. All right, now is your chance to nominate one. We're looking for women who do good work in the community and inspire other women. We're taking nominations until December 17th at WGNO.com. And we'll also highlight some of those nominees in March for Women's History Month.
Good morning and a happy Tuesday. The time now is 5:55 and we are waking up with relatively quiet conditions right now. Just a little bit of fog out there closer to Bogalusa, but we do have a pretty active forecast for the next 24 hours. So this afternoon, rain chances on the way up. Then overnight, we're going to see that possibility of even more severe weather. Any form of severe weather is possible, hail, as well as flooding and gusty winds, not to mention a few isolated tornadoes. So make sure that you stay weather aware. We'll see you after the break in our 6 o'clock hour. Stay with us.